Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in London attending the Minds and Money conference. I'm happy to talk today with Stephen Roman. He's the CEO of Harte Gold Corporation, an emerging Canadian gold producer in Northern Ontario. And I have talked with Stephen a year ago, and he has expressed last year a pretty comprehensive and detailed drill program on his asset in Northern Ontario called the Sugar Zone deposit. And I would like to know from Stephen what has happened this year and what's the outlook for next year when the company wants to go into production. Stephen, welcome to London.
Thank you, Wolfgang. Thank you. Since last year when we met, there's been a lot of progress on the project. So I would say the largest progress that we've made are in two areas. One is the drilling. So we have 8 drill rigs working on the property, and we have been, of course, drilling on the Sugar Zone as well as on our new discovery, the Middle Zone. So the idea is to update our NI 43-101 that was initially released in 2012 with one that will be released now in early 2018, so in the first quarter, and we'll have a significant resource upgrade because of the drilling we've been doing on the Sugar Zone and on our new discovery, the Middle Zone. So this is forming the foundation for our new mine plan, and we're working on all of that. So in the first quarter of 2018, there'll be a significant amount of news released both on the permitting of the overall project, on a new resource, and the second big item, of course, is the construction of the mill. So since we met last year, of course, we had not started that project yet, but now the mill construction is in full swing. So the civil works have been completed, the foundations have been poured, all the concrete work is complete, and we're now erecting the steel for the building. So the building should be completed by the end of December, and of course that way the whole structure is enclosed, and we will be able to then start populating it with equipment. So all of our equipment now is arriving at a staging area in Toronto, a large warehouse, including our ball mill and our flotation cells, all the motors and pumps and all this equipment. So as the mill building is completed in December, then in January you will start having the materials coming into the site. We expect to have all of that completed by June, and to really kick off the project, we've stockpiled 40,000 tons of gold ore on surface right next to the mill. So as soon as that's ready, at the end of June, we will be able to start processing material through the plant. In addition, underground, we've now completed opening up 5 levels for commercial production. So that's been completed, and we are now upgrading the entire mine infrastructure with new updated electronics, the wiring, the ventilation, all of those things getting ready for commercial production. So there's been a significant amount of advancement in the project over the last 12 months.
That sounds interesting. I mean, it was a pretty big drill program. How many meters have you drilled, and what kind of resource update do you expect from that program this year?
We've drilled about 100,000 meters. So that there's going to be, I would say, right now I don't want to mention any numbers, Wolfgang, but it'll be significantly higher than the last one that came out in 2012. Because we've been drilling out the upper portion, upper 500 meters of the Sugar Zone in tight spacing, so to bring it into measured and indicated. That'll form part of our initial mine plan, and then down to 1,000 meters below on Sugar Zone, and then at Middle Zone, basically from 250 meters where we discovered the deposit, down to about 1,000 meters as well. Now those two deposits also seem to be merging at depth, So we're infilling that area. There could be a much larger system as we go deeper. But I don't want to release any numbers at the moment, but I think the market should be very pleased with our progress.
But we are talking about millions of ounces, not only a couple of 100,000.
We're talking about more than 1 million ounces, yes.
Is that deposit open to the depth? And do you think you can increase the grade down depth?
Well, so far, like we released some holes about a week or two ago, we had 13, 14 grams over 7 meters. So very nice intersections. The grades seem to be holding up. Middle zone area seems to be a little bit wider. So the narrower areas seem to be in the southern side of Sugar Zone, but as we go north towards middle, they seem to be getting wider, and the grade is still very, very high. So it looks excellent, excellent.
So talking about the financing of the whole plant and equipment, you said you have already a lot not on site, but also in Toronto waiting to get installed. How about the additional funding? Do you need additional funding to get everything completed, or do you have already the money in your treasury?
We have sufficient money to take us through to the beginning of the first quarter, but we are talking to groups about different financing options, including potentially a gold loan, also some additional equity. So right now we're looking at various scenarios. We haven't decided on which one to go with yet.
But you are well supported by groups like Appian Capital, and as we all know, Appian Resource Fund is already a 19.6% stakeholder, correct? And you are getting a lot of support now from institutional investors. Is that a correct understanding?
Yes, that's correct. So we did a financing in July, that closed in July. We brought in a couple of other institutions, 1832, Old Mutual here out of London. Appian has been very supportive. They've been a very good partner. They've got good technical expertise. They're at about 19.6, 19.7% right now. They'd like to maintain their interest or even go higher. So they're very excited about the project.
Yeah, I mean, there are not so many North American emerging gold producers, and certainly with the high-grade Sugar Zone deposit, you are in a good spot. So the stock price has moved up quite nicely over the last 2-3 years. On the high of 80-85 cents, it bounced back to below 50. Now we are trading at 50 cents. I think it's still a good level to get in, and it's still pretty cheap.
I would think that it's a very good level to get in. All the gold companies came off a little bit over the last few weeks, but now Harte Gold has sort of bottomed out at about 42, and now it's back up trading at 50 to 52. So it looks like people are seeing the value there, and they know we're going to have a real game changer once we come out with all of this information in the first quarter. And I think the stock will be re-rated after that.
Sounds like a busy time ahead of you. When is your mine opening? When is the ceremony? I should come over and be there.
I think you should come over, and you should bring the German investing group over with you to have a view of the whole project and the mine opening. We expect to have an official opening probably in latter part of May or early June.
All right, very good. Thanks, Stephen. All the best.
Pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And all the best for your team and your developments. I'm confident you will deliver. You're a company builder, and that's what we like, especially in Europe. The investor community is pretty much looking towards production, cash flow, and hopefully paying dividends down the road. I think Harte Gold has those attitudes in the structure of the company, and you have done it before. So all the best for you, and see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Wolfgang.
Okay, thank you, and bye-bye from London. Have a look at the Harte Gold Corporation. There are a lot of videos also from the operation and the building of the mine on YouTube and on the channels. Check it out. It's a real good company, and we like it. And you know we are shareholders as well, so we have a conflict of interest. So it's disclosed by my comments now, but have a look, and if you have any questions, get back to us. Thanks, bye-bye.